I'm Melissa Francis. I'm a clinical mental health counselor at Bit of Hope Branch. I graduated from Gardner-Webb University in 2018 and have been at Bit of Hope for a little over a year now. The reason I became a therapist is I really believe that God led me to this path. Going through my own personal grief, I also learned how important it was to sit with somebody that was really struggling. What the horses can teach us is that silence and just holding that space for someone who is really struggling with grief or trauma is just so important, and they do such a good job of that. The reason I like Gypsy so much is she's the truth teller. She's really, really good at when somebody isn't being genuine with their own feelings or being able to express it, or maybe they've just learned to kind of gloss over certain things. She'll let them know by either turning around and just kind of nipping at them, and it tells me that maybe there's something there that the client has a hard time really wanting to share, wanting to express, because it's hard. And so being honest with our feelings sometimes is hard. We want to wear that mask of protection to keep us safe. So Gypsy is really good at being able to tell me there's something there and I can feel it. The other areas within Bit of Hope Ranch, besides working with the horses, are the trails. We have the tribal trail that has so many different stations that we can stop at to reflect on, whether it's gaze spotting, whether it's working with art, music, because music just rewires our brains. It's so very beneficial to us. And so being able to incorporate the tribal trail, walking and talking and just being in nature. I am trained in EMDR therapy, so that natural bilateral stimulation that is acquired just from walking allows the client to reprocess much of their trauma, which is why even working with the horses and doing bareback riding with the horses gives that natural bilateral stimulation, and being out in nature is very grounding. You process things a lot different. It's a proven technique that allows an individual to take a traumatic event and make it less traumatic. I work with different ages. From my youngest currently now is 10, and my oldest is an adult female with some sexual trauma. And so I do like to work with individuals that are struggling with trauma, struggling with adjustment-related disorders, whether there is a family that's going through a divorce, whether there's a move, a relocation. Sexual trauma for children is definitely where I find my heart, because they're so innocent and somebody has taken something from them, and being able to have a place where the horses just save that space for them, connect with them, show them a love that they really are looking for, and they can tell their story and work through it and know that it's not always going to feel that way. There is another side to it, there's a light there, and it doesn't always have to feel so dark. Bilateral stimulation is used in EMDR therapy, and what it does is it works the brain to process both left and right. And through the motion of going left and right, you will take a traumatic memory and it becomes less traumatic. It softens it or it reprocesses it. So in EMDR, it's eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So you don't want the traumatic event to not only cause an emotional reaction, it'll become lessened, but also a physical reaction. The memory just doesn't take control of your life any longer. I have worked with Gypsy with a young client who is 10 years old, trauma, family discourse currently, and she really has connected well with Gypsy. There was a day that I decided to do bareback riding with her to do that bilateral stimulation and to work through some things. Gypsy is so intuitive. We just would walk around this small arena and she would stop at this one spot. Well, after the second time, I decided I was going to take a step back and not walk with them because I wanted to really look at what I was seeing. And the third time around, Gypsy stopped again. And what I noticed is that the client would turn her head and she would look up in the parking lot. And so I asked a simple question of, who are you looking for? And what that turned out to be is the client was able to share that there were so many times as being a middle child that she would compete in different sporting events or do things, and she was always looking for her parents and they weren't there. And so when she got on Gypsy, it felt the same way. And so being able to finally understand why she wanted to quit certain things really helped her to communicate that with her parents as well. It gave her the courage to do that. Our bodies do a really good job of keeping us safe. So when we're in trauma, we feel like as we're surviving it that we're just staying safe. Opening up that door can feel very, very scary. And you're going to start peeling back some layers, and it's going to take some time. With therapy, it may feel scary, but to be able to thrive and not just survive, because you're worth it.